Hello everyone and welcome to the Road to National Master series. This is round 5 of the 2025 Minnesota Winter Open Tournament. And this is the last round. I got paired against an over 1800 rated opponent, 1806. And this is my last round. It's been a very tough tournament, you know, losing the first 2 rounds, winning the 3rd round and drawing my 4th round. But this is the last game I have to play for the moment. So we'll see how it goes. I hope you like it. And by the way, yeah, you should stay for the whole game because it's a crazy one. It's a crazy one. All right. So my opponent played e4 and I play c6, the 3rd Caro-Kann of the tournament. And after d4, d5, and my opponent goes for the fantasy variation of the Caro-Kann. I don't usually, I think when I play, I think I go with knight f6, and after this push I go here, but their ideas of this, I don't know, it can be a little bit weird. It can be tough to play like that. I usually play like that, but this time I just went for e6. What's the best move? Actually, yeah, e6 is the best move. Nice. I wanted to change it. I didn't want to go for that risky play with like push on like e6. So after this move, I just went like knight f6. And my opponent just put bishop there, and I attacked the knight. My opponent pushed this, but in between I gave a check and ruined the structure of the pawns and just knight d7 or knight fd7. My opponent went with h4, and here let's see what the best move is. So c5. I was definitely thinking about c5 already, because c5 and I guess just this. I should have done that. Actually, I should play like this, but I don't know why I didn't do that. I went for this move first, which was not the best move. But I thought now I can go for this, and move my bishop, and even consider just castling this way if I can try to lock the position in this position. But after I made this move, not after I made the move, but like I made the move thinking that I knew that my opponent was going to push a4, because if I were to play against this position, I would definitely go a4 right away as white, and my opponent did that. And here I just captured, and the rook takes, and I saw that the continuation, I'm having some tempo, developing my knight, attacking the rook. The rook goes to, apparently the rook has to go forward. That's crazy, man. What? Okay, he actually went for the best move, but rook a5 is kind of crazy, and apparently it's not too bad. Anyway, so I've developed my R knight, and my opponent goes for h5. So I just go. Oh, it says a5 right away. Wow. I was thinking about that actually. So this allows this, but then you just go forward, and then like who's gonna go in here? Because your knight's here. Good to know, good to know. I went h6, maybe not the best move then. Now considering that they're better. Now we're learning together, you know? That's the nice thing about chess. We get to learn a little bit. Even when you're watching other people's games. Yeah, because I guess now thinking about it, if I go here, if they push here, it prevents any ideas like this. I could just capture like this or like this even. That is nice. Okay. Let's go forward. Let's move forward. Because here, now my opponent goes f4. Now it wants to develop the knight on f3 probably or something. And after f5, I saw that if en passant, I can capture back with a knight. So if this happens, I can capture back with the knight or with the queen. I saw with the queen first, but then I thought that it didn't really work well, because I wanted to castle here, attack this pawn, but this pawn is defended by the bishop though. So what about after this? You know, I mean, I guess it's fine actually, because now you want to go here. Here. Oh, okay, yeah, I can work with this. What if this? Knight c. King d8. Wow, it wants you to bring the king like this. That is crazy. All right, let's go. So after f5, my opponent didn't en passant because it's not forced, unfortunately. So my opponent went with rook h3, going for an attack already. And look at this, my opponent has an advantage. He's always had an advantage. He knows his style is very aggressive. And after this, maybe he has ideas of this and stuff like that. So I went with h5, with a5 now, although it's not, I mean, it's all right. But kind of late because my opponent has this, and it says castle. I thought about it. I thought about castling here. Very scary though, because I saw this. If takes, I can capture like this. And my knight can move, and my bishop can come here. So I guess, but isn't there something like this? I don't know. I guess I'm gonna try to study this game a lot more afterwards to see what things could have, you know, I could have changed. So I capture, which is not the best move, but I thought I'm gonna defend this position. The problem is that it's very tough. After queen e7, defending the pawn, the bishop goes there to maybe like bring the king here. Maybe that's the point why my opponent wanted to go there, to just bring the king here or something. So I went with knight here, trying to defend any checks with the bishop, or be able to, like, you know, if there's any infiltration at one point in the end with the queen or something, queen check here, you know, the knight's defending here. So I'm trying to bring my pieces to defend. And also a problem is, wait, is this a problem? I can try to get rid of this bishop. Ooh, wait. If bishop here takes, that's fine. Bishop here, rook takes with check, and then the knight can come. Maybe that would have been an alright move, because then here and then this, defending the pawn. Wow. Okay. That bishop is annoying. Anyway, so rook g3. Rook g3 creating the battery. Now I need to be careful. How can we defend this? I cannot bring my king here. If I go rook here, the problem is that they have this move, f5. You know, it takes, I think like the whole point of this move is that they want to sack the bishop if my rook is on g8. If I capture, they capture my rook. So that's a plan. So I defend it like this though. I feel like, is that the only move? It says rook g8. I guess rook g8 is fine now, because I guess that's true. It doesn't matter. Never mind. I guess, yeah. But I went for this move. Rook a7. I should have just gone for rook g8. What am I doing? And I went for this push, because I'm just waiting for my opponent. And I cannot bring my bishop here because they just capture, right? Need to be careful. My opponent goes for this move because now he's seeing that if he goes here with the bishop, my queen has to move, bishop takes, and then knight infiltrates, and then there's nothing that can stop knight on g6. My knight's the only piece that defends the square, so my opponent notices that he has to capture this knight with a bishop. I push the pawn forward. Is this the only move? Yeah, a3 is one of the moves. So now my opponent offers a queen trade, and I accepted, noticing, like, knowing that I'm losing the pawn here. But it's very tough to defend because, like, he played this move very confidently. He kind of like got up and stuff. My opponent was like getting up a lot in my tournament. He was always gone, now that I think about it. Not trying to imply anything, but at the same time, I mean, he was playing very confidently. He knew that I was a lower rated player than him. But yeah, he would get up a lot. Anyway, so I capture the queen, knight takes, and then I bring my knight here to defend this pawn, but obviously I knew he was going to capture my knight. So he captures, takes there, and after the trades, I bring my king to f7. For some reason, I thought that if I go here and I capture, I mean, of course, there's a fork, right? So I just brought it here, and I thought that if he captures here, I'm not going to capture with the king, I will capture with the rook. And now I have some ideas to, like, try to do something. I can try to do something because my bishop goes here. I'm still defending. There's there are double pawns, and my pawns are in light squares, so my bishop is not too bad, but also his bishop is not too bad, not too good. So bishop c5, knight h7, and I'm trying to activate pieces. Right now, I mean, the whole time my opponent's winning the game. After this move, rook g6, I just went like, oh, top engine move, wow. I thought it was not a great move. I mean, I was trying to activate my rook, but I didn't know it was like the best move. Afterwards, I thought that maybe like rook b8 was better for the next move that happened. After this, my opponent plays this move, and I thought, can I capture this pawn or not? Let's see what advantage it goes down to by quite a bit. So at first I was surprised, but then it kind of made sense because I thought if I capture here, my opponent has rook d6. That's the move that I saw. So first I thought, oh, I mean, like he just gives me a pawn. If I have time to come here, that's it. Let's say they go here, and now, wait, what is the move? Oh, now I'm trapping the rook. I was seeing something like that. I'm just trapping the rook. Here, you know, what else? The rook is just inactive, and I have ideas of like bringing the bishop here, rook, and then attacking the knight or attacking the pawn and just winning this rook. That was my thought. But of course, after a lot of thinking in the game, I was thinking a lot, man. I was trying to defend this so hard. I didn't capture the pawn because I thought that if I capture, my opponent has d6, and that's the best move actually. That's the whole point of this move. Now it's very hard to defend this. And I'm not sure why. Let's see, after this, my opponent has e6. And my bishop, now everything's getting wrecked. Oh, it says like take here. Wow, and then there are like so many threats. Look at this. That's the whole point of that move. Wow. That's just too much. That's suffocating, man. So that's why I didn't take that, because it was kind of hard. I didn't know how to defend that. So I went for rook a1. I said if he wants to capture, I'm going to capture here. And now that's a draw because the rook has no improvement. And now I have my knight here. My knight can get here. That's it. Rook semi-plan and attacking this guy. So that was my thought. So I went there, but I knew, because I also, I mean, as I said, I thought so much that I knew that my opponent was going to go f6, and he did. And that's a very tough move to defend, because I was thinking, okay, if I capture, let's say he captures with the pawn, you know, if knight takes, I can go here, things like that. But then I thought, and I knew, I mean, I saw that he has this move. If I capture here, he doesn't capture back with the pawn, but he captures here on h6. Right? And if I capture here, boom, my knight falls. So if something like this, you know, he cannot do things like this because I can just capture here. And everything's fine. I'm attacking this pawn. My opponent goes there. I can go here, right? Is that rook h1? Yeah. Attacking this. Now this is falling. So everything's fine, right? But I capture the pawn. My opponent goes for this move. What I just mentioned. Then I thought, what the heck, man? What am I doing? I go here, and my opponent gives me a check with the rook. And I thought for so long about the next move, and I saw that if I go king f7, I totally lose to this move. h6. Now there's a threat of this. Winning my knight or my bishop. How can I stop this? I'm not in time because I cannot go here. He has that move first. My king goes there. What is the move here? Even like, wait, rook takes h7. And then if I take here, maybe my opponent has if takes, and look at this. And that's just like mate, man, almost. Not really, but like, maybe bishop here. I don't know. That's just suffocating, right? Like, what can you do? It's like mate in 10, it says. Anyway, so after this check, I found the only move that keeps some advantage away from my opponent. So I go king h8. I thought about it last and it worked. So my opponent here doesn't have, I don't think my opponent has this move. I don't remember why. I think if to this move I have like just this one. I don't remember. I don't remember. Anyway, so what happened in the game? My opponent captured here. And here if I go here, there's just, wait, what? Oh yeah, there was this move, f7, and that's just mate. Unstoppable mate. I cannot do anything about it. I'm not in time for that. I would have to give up my rook or something. So that doesn't work. But I found the only move in the position, bishop e8. Attacking the rook and attacking, you know, the square, the f7 square. There's no push. I can just capture the pawn. Still, we're surviving somehow. The best move in this position, the best move in this position is to play d5. Sacking the rook. Because you have a check. And then what do you have here? Knight e. What is this? It said, oh no, you capture now this one. Is it this one? 97. It says 97 check. You go here. D takes C. D takes C, man. That's crazy. And if I capture here, C7. And I would like, yeah, I would be, yeah, that's crazy, man. Okay, so my opponent actually moved the rook here. And I'm in time for rook h1. That was my plan. Apparently the best move here is like king g8. You know what? Nah. I went here. King h1, rook h1. My opponent has a check. And here, will you capture or not? So obviously, if you capture, he wouldn't capture with the pawn because you have this move. Rook takes rook. Right? And then here, you're just totally winning. Or not. Wait, actually, wait. You captured this one? Oh, it says rook takes h7. Oh, makes sense. After this, and then you're good. Wow. That's like a turn of events. But after the check, I cannot capture the knight. Because especially, I saw that he would capture here. He would capture with a rook. I capture here. And then, what was it? It was this move. And how can I stop mate? I would have to give a bunch of pieces or something. How can you stop this? You know? I have to... Knight f8. You know what I mean? It's hard to stop. So I just went with king g8. Check. I want to repeat moves, you know? But my opponent, because he's winning, he doesn't want to give a check. And instead he captures the pawn on c6. Now you see the evaluation. Because he doesn't want to repeat moves. I would repeat moves, right? I mean, for me, because I want to draw the game. I'm totally losing the whole time. My opponent captures the pawn, allows rook takes h5. And think about this. If my opponent captures the rook, this one, I don't capture the knight. I capture the rook with check. King moves. I capture the pawn with the knight, and I'm only down one pawn. It could be a draw. Okay? So after this, my opponent went with the move f7 to bring my bishop to f7. Now he goes for the move knight e5, and I have to take that. I take the rook, my opponent goes with a fork to try to keep my pieces away from everything. That was the whole point. His whole point was to keep my pieces away, make the best of it. But now it's a draw if I have correct play. Excuse me. We survived. Now let's try to get the draw. King there. king there. Bishop back, king there. The whole point is I have to bring my king to the right side, to the queen side. King there, check. So is this the best move? Yeah, check. And I bring my knight to d5. King infiltrates, but I have this move, knight e3. If I can try to get rid of one pawn, at one point, this pawn, I need to keep this pawn. For sure, I need to keep this pawn, man. Because I can try to trade one pawn and then sacrifice my knight for the other pawn. Other two pawns or something. Boom. I take the pawn, my opponent captures, and here I need to bring my king to e8. Best move. Only move. If I bring my knight with check or anything like that, I lose. That's the only move to find. And I thought about it. I said, you know what? My plan is to bring my king to d7 and I draw the game. And I found the move. King e8. Only move to draw the game. Everything's draw now. Because now it gives me time to bring my king to d7 and defend my pawn from the other side. And I can always just capture one pawn and then sacrifice my knight for the other pawn. Now I need to be correct. Only one move. Every other move draws the game. Or sorry, loses the game. And I thought so long about moves like this. To bring some checks and things like that. And, you know, that's the only, those two moves. That's it. And I cannot even capture the bishop. I cannot capture the bishop. I would just allow the king to go here and like start shouldering. Or sorry, pushing the pawns forward. And this one like is kind of weird because it kind of, I don't know, like my knight's so far away from everything. Like, what the heck is it? What is he doing there? So, knight there, bishop, knight f5. Only I'm just finding only moves to draw the whole time now. It's crazy. Bishop there. So now for this, like right before the endgame and the stuff. Now my opponent is on the table at the table the whole time, but before he was not on the table he was like always up. But now my opponent's at the table, means he's been in the table to the point that I got the draw position. And now knight e7, king there, and I just bring my knight to c6. I just want to repeat moves. Knight there, knight there, knight there, back. I don't want to capture that bishop. Apparently, no, yeah, I can't. I cannot capture. I need to sacrifice my knight for one of the pawns. So I just bring it back and forth. If there's a push, takes there, and I sack my knight. Somehow. That's the whole point. Just want to sack my knight for a pawn. But not yet. I bring my king forward. Check. I have two moves. I was very scared about this move. I thought so long about this. Because I kind of want to get there. But at the same time, I don't want to allow it takes, and then like this pawn gets pushed. So I didn't want to allow that, so I just kept my king back on d7. I just want to repeat moves. King there, knight check, king there, and now I'm going up. I bring my knight there, king up. He allows me to go there. Perfect. Now I see. Where do I need to bring my knight? I need to bring my knight either here or here. Or here. These three squares. To grab this pawn, takes, and that's a draw. So I start going for that square. Here and here. You know what? So literally the only moves I need to find is this, and this. And I saw that and I was heading towards that. And for some reason, I thought that the move that I played was a blunder. I played e5 check, thinking that he had to capture with the pawn. Because if this, I can just capture here, and that's a draw. But my opponent just captured with the bishop, and I'm like, what the heck did I do? Because now if I capture here, that's totally losing, because if I capture here, now the king is in time to just promote. But after my opponent captured, I think that gave him a little bit of hope, saying like, oh, I have two pawns. Now I'm winning. But it's still a draw because I did the maneuvering. Knight there. And I just capture on c5. I capture on c5. If my opponent captures the pawn or the knight, I just capture and that's a draw. So after I capture on c5, I said draw, and my opponent said that he wanted to think about it. And in my head, it was like he was winning the whole game, that he couldn't believe it. He wanted to like make it work somehow. But the next move is obvious. If he doesn't want to take the knight, I just have this move, knight b3, and I'm just capturing the pawn anyways. Or anyway, yeah. So we got the draw. We got the draw in a totally losing game, which is crazy, you know. We did it. So here you go. Here's a last reflection of last round and the tournament, I guess. I hope you've been liking these little reflections at the end of me talking in the car. So I hope you like this tournament as well. I mean, it was nice. I won, actually, by the way, I won 26 points after this tournament performance. Not the greatest performance, but we're playing against stronger players, and now we need to change our mentality and prepare for the next tournament. And I will definitely be playing in the section where it has the highest rated opponents, because that's the only way that we can improve our play and our mentality and everything. So I hope you like this. I hope you are liking this series, and I have another tournament in February. I'll try to go to that one to post more recaps and get to that goal of national master title. This is a small step, but now we're fixing our mentality and all these things that we need to work on to get to our goal. So I will see you guys on the next video, and don't forget this little reflection. Bye.
Hello everyone, I just finished my last round, and dude, I don't know how I survived, man. You know what? So I was ready to resign. I don't remember where I was ready to resign. Maybe when like the queen had a battery with the rook and all those things, and somehow I managed to find rook h7. But I saw the pressure coming. I thought that my opponent was gonna win even more material, not just one pawn at the end. Somehow I thought that I was totally fried, you know what I mean? Because the knight was coming on what was it? The knight was coming on g6 or something, you know, with a check, and like I don't know how I survived, man. I mean, you guys have just seen the recap, but I was ready to resign. But the only reason why I didn't resign was because I was gonna post. I mean, I'm posting this video on YouTube, right? But I said to myself, if I'm gonna post something on YouTube and people are gonna watch it, I don't want them to just watch like me resigning or giving up, you know. So I said, you know what? I'll just play on and see what happens, you know. I mean, I was totally, my mindset was not there saying like I'm gonna win this. I was just trying to defend, and I knew that it was pretty bad. I don't know what the evaluation was showing. When I get home, and when I do the recap, oh shit, that's not a good sound. When I do the evaluation, when I do the recap, I'll see the evaluation, I guess. But somehow we defended. We infiltrated the rook. We had the rook all over there in the corner. Although it kind of looked out of place. But I knew that my opponent was gonna go for the pawn push and stuff. And then after capturing the pawn on the king side, I guess. I mean, he was attacking my knight, and then I just did the repetition, right? So like, king attacking the rook has to come check. And then I was seeing like, if I go back to the right, if I go back to what square is that, like f7, if I go king f7, I think it just pushes the pawn. I don't remember what it was, but he has like a rook check, and I'm dead, you know. I'm just dead. So I said, I didn't really calculate much about going to the corner, but I did it because I saw, wait, there are no more checks, and if anything, the bishop doesn't have any scopes for checks. He would have to push his pawn forward to then like bring the bishop back, but by that time I can do something, I guess. But oh, am I going the right place? That was somehow we managed to survive, and at the end I saw that taking the pawn, if the rook takes, bishop takes check, king moves, knight takes pawn, and I'm only down one pawn, and I can try to get a draw there. That was my thought. So I think there were a couple moments where I was ready to resign, and that's what I told my opponent at the end, in the end. I said, dude, I was ready to resign, but I don't know, I just played on. So at the end he also told me that I defended very well. I mean, I think he's totally winning, probably. He was kicking himself. But we did it. Somehow we did it. And at the end too, to be honest, I pushed my pawn thinking that for some reason he had to capture with the pawn, not with the bishop. And I was like, after I made that move, I guess that gave him hope that I blundered because he was 2 pawns on the bishop versus knight, right? So I probably blundered that one. Wait, am I going to the right place? Okay, so I thought I blundered that one, but then I realized that I have a reroute with a knight where I can just grab the pawns, and even if the bishop was going down, I can capture the pawn like above, and then just try to walk my king down to just sacrifice my knight for the pawn. So, and at the end I offer a draw. When I capture the pawn, I offer a draw. I mean, like, because it was obviously a draw, right? I'm just gonna reroute my knight to just capture that pawn anyways. And he said, hold on a minute, let me think. I mean, it was obvious, but at the same time, you know, he had all these expectations of winning that at the end I managed to get the draw, and he couldn't believe it, right? So makes sense that he just wanted to think a little bit, even after the blunder of the last pawn too. But we did it, guys. Round 1, round 2, we lost. Although round 1 we played really well. We need to play solid, and just queen defending the pawn would have been the best move. Second game, just don't blunder a mate in 2, man. And you know what? Even if you have a lot of time, sometimes when you're so focused on one part of the board, then you probably don't see other parts of the board as well. So this is just like my first ever tournament where I kind of like put my arm on the board and couldn't really see well what the heck was going on, and I think it was something like that for this game. So then we got the win against an over 1800 player. I don't remember, 1814 or something. And then we got 2 draws for round, what it says, oh no, it's something else. And then we just got the draws, round 4, round 5. Man, I think it was a good tournament, you know, considering the blunder, but also considering that we just played higher rated opponents. The lowest was like over 100 points higher than me, right? And then 200 points over, 300 points over. So it was a very nice tournament for me, playing stronger players. The nice thing about that is like that'll help me become stronger as well, and improve and put the effort despite you know, the mistakes and things, the blunders. I think we did all right. So looking forward to the next tournament, and let me know if you guys like this type of content with me talking in the car afterwards. Well, I love you guys, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye.